Hello sexy people. Whoa. New voice. Anyways. Today let's make a plush of Oneshot's son, or as people know it, the funny cat's light bulb thingy. Warning. This video could be considered deeply personal. If you wanted a funny haha video tutorial of a plush, this is not your video, but if you still wanna hear me out, I deeply appreciate it. So, after that hilarious warning, let's dive straight into the plush. I divided the light bulb into two pieces, the sphere and the cylinder at the bottom. I'll start with the sphere, and like I said in my sphere plush theory video, it'll be made from petals, but on this occasion I'm using 5 petals. I initially planned to do 6, but I thought it left me too many pieces to sew through. I just wanted to get it done as soon as possible, so 5 is a good enough number. And now, the reason why I've been absent for 2 years and 8 months. My grandma gave me her old sewing machine, yay, and it works like absolute trash. Yay. Don't get me wrong, I love her for gifting me something with so much emotional weight, but since it's mine now I can complain for as long as I want. It's wonky and inconsistent, and is too fast to use on small pieces. I actually didn't plan on leaving for almost 3 years. I had some other projects in the works, but I couldn't get them to work, again, due to the sewing machine. I sew a ball, then I tried to do a plush. I failed, so I tried with a more rounded plush. I failed again, so I said, okay, since I can only sew a ball as of now, I'll do something ball shaped. So I made this plush, almost like a pillow, to practice. So I sewed the sphere with little to no complications, and then I started to sew the cylinder thingy. I wanted it to be 3D with some spiral action going, but I got too lazy and I just gave up before even starting. It's just a rectangle with a circle underneath. Sewed the straight part of the cylinder with the machine, and I was too afraid of ruining the circle, so that part I did it by hand. I made the rectangle accidentally shorter than it should, thanks to pi not being exactly 3. That's what that little nub at the back is. Then I sew it to the body. To end, I made with paper some sketches of the wires that goes inside. I thought of making the light spots as well, but thanks to testing it with paper I know it would have looked bad. So I made what I call the round cross with 2 loop-de-loops inside, and sew it by hand. Then I wanted to add some details. I thought, maybe I could make the spiral by embroidering some spirals. I think it would look so cool and awesome, and then I stopped working on it. I felt awful while making this project. All the other projects that I did in the meantime failed. While I was sewing, I was studying for multiple tests, learning how to drive, trying to improve my drawing skills, social skills, my memory, learning German, trying to get back into reading, trying to kickstart a knitting business, playing games I've been dying of hype that I postponed for months, figuring out who I am and who I wanted to become, learning to code, learning Blender, SFM, trying to animate anything at that point. And failed all of them. It was a tough time. I thought I knew my limits, but it seems like I went too light on myself for too long and gone soft. I had all the time I wanted, and yet I found myself not doing anything productive. For a few weeks life felt meaningless. The only times I didn't think about how much of a waste of space I was when I was with my girlfriend, but it also made me feel guilty not being productive. I had so much to do and I was laying there doing nothing. Nothing I did felt fun anymore. Eventually, I had to cut back on some projects. Well, most of them, and one of them was finishing this project. One of them was learning to use the sewing machine. One of them was caring about this channel. I can't say it didn't help, but I still have an overwhelming amount of projects on my shoulder, and, being honest, this channel isn't a priority on my life right now. I got to learn how to draw. I always was a creative person, but I just didn't stick to one medium. I know a bit on how to draw, paint, sculpt, animate, design, knit, crochet, sew, embroider, code and write. But since I never stick to one medium, I never became good at anything. If I want to pursue animation like I wanted since I was a child, I need to specialize in something. I needed to get good at drawing. I realized that I was dog water at drawing when at high school. On one of our final days I got into a group that also wanted to become animators. We actually got into a contest where 2 out of 7 won an honorary award and 1 won 3rd place. Meanwhile mine looked like crap. I didn't know what I was doing. I just did what felt right, and I couldn't look at my drawing next to the other ones. I had better ideas. I know I could have pitched something better, but I lacked talent and skills in putting them on paper, and I paid that negligence in shame. The sun spent so many months in my bed gathering dust. All this footage is from July, and only on October did I come back to it. Halloween was around the corner and I thought, why not make a cosplay to go along with the light bulb? So I bought materials to make a Oneshot cosplay, and I actually enjoyed making it so much. I learned so much from it. The sewing machine I got wasn't made for tiny works like plush eyes. It was made for clothes, and it showed. I flew through the pieces, not making a single mistake. I made a simple sleeve dress. Then hand sew this long cones for the sleeves, and made them really, really long, almost too long. But when it comes to Nico, never is too long, not for the sleeves, not for the scarf. Oh yeah. What a nice transition to the scarf. I already had a blue scarf, but it wasn't really Nico-like, so I modified it, made it longer, and added those end thingies some scarves have. Knitting, even though I find it boring, became really fun, seeing how long I could make it. At the end I knitted an extra 60 centimeters to the scarf without counting the long 15 centimeters end bits. Back to the body I gave the neck part some extra fabric to make it look better and not fray away, but did it wrong and now the neck hole is too big. Whoops. I did something similar to every other part, and added those 2 rectangles to the chest, and that's the clothes done. Next I needed to make the hat, and for that, I had cardboard. I made out of cardboard the base for the hat, a circle with a hole on it. I didn't want to make a semi-sphere for the inside, so I just did 2 strips of cardboard crossing and it held everything up. Placed fabric over everything. That was a pain to do, literally. I tried to sew the fabric into the cardboard and drew blood multiple times. My hand ended up looking like Swiss cheese. I then did the ears. That took multiple attempts to get just right, and they are just 3 petals cut at the end of 2 to make it not closed at the bottom. Sew it into the hat. That also was painful. And with that I had made the clothes, the scarf, the sun and the hat. I was happy enough. I couldn't find the right wig, so I went out like that to a convention with Halloween theming, and I enjoyed it so much. I went with a group of friends and friends of friends. Someone even asked to take a picture with me after in a mall. So I said, nah, I gotta do this the best I can. I searched how to make a wig. I knew what yarn wigs were, but I was too close-minded to think they'd work. I thought only if it was stylized they'd work, but after researching I learned how you could iron the fibers to make it look a lot less yarny. It took weeks to make. I made the base out of blue fabric, so if I missed a spot it wouldn't look too bad, and I finished in time for Halloween. I loved how I looked. I was nervous cause no one would understand the vibe and recognize my character, but I loved how it looked and I think I got into cosplay. Got to rebrand the channel to Let's Make a Cosplay, I guess. Melancholic laugh. I don't know what I'll do with this channel. I'll probably upload whatever I do without trying to make it a tutorial, if I even upload again at all. I just hope that I'm proud of myself again.
Thanks for watching. Holy crap, I got my old voice back. Yay!